Hey there, Richard here from No Pants Profits, and today I want to talk about Vita Coco, which is a new IPO that's potentially that's going to be coming out in a few weeks' time. So today it is October 13th, 2021. The IPO is expected on October 21st, 2021. Now you may say, what the heck's Vita Coco? I think I've heard of that before, especially if you live in an area that has a large Hispanic population in it, because it is more of a South coconut water, and Vita Coco as a whole is more of a South American drink than anything else. And Vita Coco is going to be coming via Robinhood IPO and via normal IPO. Robinhood does have some shares that are going to be available. About 5% of shares, according to Vita Coco, will be available to Robinhood users, but I just want to show you a picture and you'll go, okay, I've probably seen that before. So this is Vita Coco, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a little overview. I went to looking at Vita Coco's S1 during a live stream and kind of taking a look at where they go and everything like that, and seeing whether that's something I want to personally invest in or not. So I want to take you a little bit through Vita Coco's S1, talk about what's going on. Again, their symbol is going to be Coco. So kind of like the Disney movie of the same name, COCO, the Vita Coco Company. This is the product they sell. I think what's quite interesting is they are actually part of the well, they're not part of, that's their big distributor, is Dr. Pepper Keurig. So Dr. Pepper Keurig is their large distributor. And let me show you this, and then we'll get into the S1. We're going to go to the S1, but the company said that Keurig Dr. Pepper, KDP, plans to buy 20 million in available stock, while Coco will make up to 5% of the IPO shares available to customers of the popular, infamous investing app Robinhood. But what I want to do, I went ahead and I took a look through the S1 filing, so I want to talk through the filing. Now, this is, if you know, companies release earnings reports every quarter. The S1 is kind of like your initial earnings report when you get into the stock market. So this is the S1 for the Vita Coco Company. It was actually filed yesterday. So today, last night, it was filed. New York, New York. They are based out of New York City. They do have a big presence in South Florida and Latin America, which we will get to in just a minute. But they are based out of New York City. And we're taking a look at Vita Coco. So we're looking at the registration fee, we're looking at everything like that. The Vita Coco Company, and there's some really interesting things in here. Now, they have not finalized their share price yet, but it should be between $18 and $21 in their share price. And we'll see involved is Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, Guggenheim, Bank of America, Credit Suisse, Piper Sandler. So the big ones are Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, and Wells Fargo. A public benefit corp. So their big push as the Vita Coco Company is kind of not to just provide coconut water, but to do actual good in the world. So a public benefit for brands of force of good. Vita Coco, what they kind of position themselves as is kind of like a healthier Gatorade, with actual nutrients and electrolytes and everything like that. So they're kind of positioning as a healthy beverage platform for the next generation. So they have a lot of different stuff there. Again, I'm more of a water guy myself, but you could see they sell coconut oils. They sell, that's an energy drink, Power Lift, coconut milk. These are mainly all coconut milks. That's kind of like a Kool-Aid, the hydration drink mix. And they do sell coconut oil, which is used as a dietary supplement, meaning absolutely nothing that's showing on that page is regulated by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. Again, nature's resources, coconuts, and gray, I think that's guarana, gray grausa leaves. Very similar to like guarana, so that's what they use in their energy saying. And they're saying for all occasions, as a breakfast, in a smoothie, after workout, as a pick-me-up, in a cocktail, after a night out, for energy, everyday nutrition, after a sweat. Loved by consumers. Okay, and they're talking about basically their business funds thriving communities. But here's where it starts to get kind of interesting. Again, trademarks, they have proprietary rights, trade names to all this different coconut water stuff. they pretty much own coconut water right now. There are off brands, but they own the idea of coconut water. And coconut water is as simple as, hey, chop the coconut, it's the water that's inside of it. Next chapter of our journey. Okay, so we're committed to using the business as a force to good. During the pandemic, we saw our sales surge by over 100%, which prompted us to donate $1 million of our profits to No Kids Hungry and Feeding America. We challenged our much larger competitors to do the same on Twitter. Many of them did. We're looking forward to continuing our efforts to deliver better products that are indeed better for the world. Okay. Again, that's all a tax write-off. None of that means anything. It's a tax write-off. They're writing it against their profits. It's what businesses do. But this is where it kind of starts. So they're saying they are in the 13. I'm focusing on numbers. This enables the U.S. beverage market as a whole. So the U.S. essentially bottled beverage market as a whole is over 119 billion, providing a long runway for growth. And 13 billion is the natural segment, currently growing at twice the pace of the conventional brands. Again, they're going to make the picture look nice and rosy. This is their document to the world. This is their introduction of their company to the people outside of their company. That's the purpose of an S1 filing. Again, the global leader in coconut water. The brand competes in the 2 billion global coconut and plant waters category. And according, it's only being sold in 24 countries with low household penetration in most of them. Has the biggest, I will agree that it's had the biggest influence in making coconut water a mainstream beverage choice in the United States with the year-over-year growth available where the consumer wants us to be. And again, the year-over-year growth is actually quite impressive. So if you take a look, the last 104 weeks, they've grown 13%. Last 52 weeks, that's the last year, they've grown 24%. Last 26 weeks, and this is as of June. So we're really looking at, the first half of 2021, they grew 33%. Last 13 weeks grew 29% over the summertime. So kind of in the build up to summer, it grew more than the actual summer. You will see their production is coconut water manufacturing, looks to be mostly in Brazil. And you've got some co-manufacturing everywhere else. You've got some facilities as well. But I want to get into the numbers. Okay, there we go. This is where it starts to get kind of interesting. I will make these a little bit bigger if I can. All right. For the trailing 12 months ended June 30th, 2021, we reported net sales of $334 million, representing a 17% increase from 12 months that ended June 2020. So they have grown 17% year over year, June to June. They can't go year over year from December to December because December to December hasn't happened yet, and they want to give the most relevant data. So 17% increase June to June. The year that ended December 31st, 2021, we reported net sales of $311 million, 9% increase over. So basically, you've got a 9% increase from 2019 to 2020, and then you've got a 17% increase from mid-2020 to mid-2021. But the question is, do they make money? So I think this is what is very useful. From the year that ended December 31st, 2020, so the year of 2020, they made $105 million in profit. Operating margin of 34% and a 13% increase from $93 million the year before. So they are growing. For the 6 months that ended June 30th, 2021, we generated a gross profit of $53 million. Representing a margin of 30%. So the margin did go down a little bit more, but it could be cost. It could be a lot of factors there. Remaining relatively flat in absolute dollar terms, yes, because if you look at this, if you look at the half of a year this year, they made $53 million. Whole year last year made $105 million. We're looking at $106 million overall. I don't know how hard this has been hit by inflation or anything of that sort. But for the year that ended December 31st, 2020, our net income was $33 million, representing a margin of 11%, and a 247% increase from our net income of $9 million, 3%. So I don't see anything negative here. It looks like they are making money, which is kind of rare for a business nowadays that's IPOing. They're mainly unicorns and startups and things like that. So they have debt of $25 million. So they have some debt. Oh, look at that. We have traditionally experienced minimal capital expenditures given our asset-light model. We believe that our operating cash flow and access to credit facilities provide us sufficient capability to support our growth plans. So you'll see select financial performance. still has number one market share of 46%. Okay, so that's important. So the current market share of all coconut water that they have is their number one market share of 46%, which is bigger than the next 10 brands combined. So they are a powerhouse in the coconut water space. Top 10 refreshment brand, non-alcoholic beverages, excluding milk, within the broad... Okay, so Vita Coco is a top 10 refreshment brand, non-alcoholic beverages, excluding milk, within the broader 13 billion U.S. natural beverage category. Coconut water versus total water. So if we look at that, coconut water is growing. And again, they're kind of going for a hydration, kind of Gatorade-y-like thing. Okay. 65% of all consumers have had a beverage with functional benefits in the 3 months preceding the survey. So functional benefits, Gatorade gets you refreshed. Energy drink gives you energy. So they're working on all those things. They're working on hydration, working on energy. This kind of interesting. 74% of U.S. millennials said they're more likely to buy a brand that supports social issues they care about. Consumer spending on sustainable goods this year are up 15.8%. So they're really, really going on. 52% of Gen Z say they want the brands to use to be involved in activism. Okay. So we believe that retailers favor our brands because of the high-quality shoppers they attract alongside the premium products we offer. Our brands are able to attract new shoppers and encourage store traffic. Again, this is all written very positively. Don't believe everything you say here. You see here. Cocoa products are worth 22% more than the average water shopper's basket over the 6-month period. They're more expensive than bottled water. They're more expensive than Gatorade. And you'll see here kind of if you compare dollars per ounce, and you'll see they live right under energy drinks, but above like orange juice and refrigerated juice and other fruit beverages in your price per ounce. The most expensive thing on their spectrum they're comparing to natural drinks is kombucha. So if you look at kombucha, that's what their Vita Coco shoppers' characteristics. They're valuable shoppers. 43% of Vita Coco shoppers are Gen Z and millennial who are buying on a credit card. And you can actually see all of these different metrics. They spend a lot per trip and throughout the store. So it's showing, that their spending power is going up. Again, a new shelf-stable coconut milk with a dairy alternative platform. So they are going for not just coconut water, but coconut milk as an alternate dairy product for those that are lactose intolerant. So you have the original. Let's see if we can blow that up a little bit. The first mainstream, they have the original new flavors. We created one of the first premium flavored coconut waters in the United States. Launch of multi-serve packs to unlock new channels, shelves for cold compensation, using the whole coconut to give consumers more of their milk, and new brands, identifying attractive ideas to leverage capabilities and our core consumers. So hybrid go-to-market strategy. Again, they do seem to be relying mainly on a Hispanic population right now. Whether they're going to get that into other demographics is an interesting question. But you'll see their retail growth, 89% year over year. Now, I do live in South Florida. That's why I do think it skews kind of Hispanic in nature. Just the entirety of South Florida does. But this product is aimed at that. A unique asset-light supply chain. Okay, so this is interesting. So they're talking about how they can be profitable. So a unique asset-like supply chain that starts close to the coconut tree and is difficult to replicate. Pioneers in the coconut water industry and throughout the upcycling of coconut water, 17 years developing a model. So they're saying that that's what's called a barrier to entry. So they're preventing other people from getting into this business, like, say, Coke, like, say, Pepsi. Dr. Pepper Keurig is not going to step on their feet because they want to invest in them. So Dr. Pepper Keurig is their distributor. So they want to keep Coke and Pepsi at bay. They believe that their purchasing power is supported by their leading market position and their private label offering, which has significant scale-based cost advantages. And again, they go into their social issues of promoting healthy lifestyles, cultivating communities and culture, and protecting natural resources. Give, grow, guide. drive further brand. Okay, so they really want to get that acquisition. That's the brand acquisition. Aha. And you'll see my numbers were right. I haven't even made it down here yet, but again, if you look at the demographics, it is Hispanic, Asian, and Black. That is right in their document. Those are their demographics. So they really haven't gotten white people to start drinking this yet. So there's a lot of growth in the white people space. And this is where they're buying it. So food stores, drugstores, C-stores, so convenience stores are the main seller of this. Vita Coco boosted. So this is kind of an energy drink, a healthy energy drink. United Kingdom, China, France, Spain, early in their international journeys. I'm just seeing if there's anything more. Okay, so here's some segments. And this is how they compete in all of these segments. So dairy alternatives, so a coconut milk is an alternative to dairy if you've got lactose intolerant. Water and water enhancers, everyday nutrition and hydration, energy and performance beverages. Very, very interesting. I do like their numbers. I do like their retail sales growth. So you'll see conventional, natural, specialty, wellness, total beverage. So these numbers all look good. If I can get in at an IPO price, I am actually very happy. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look. There we go. Risk factors. Our business is subject to a number of risks and uncertainties, which you should be aware of before making a decision to invest in our common stock. These risks are more fully described in the section entitled Risk Factors immediately following this prospectus summary. Again, we're just looking at the summary. We're not looking at the whole document. The entire document will be in the comments below if you want to take a look, but I want to take a look at the summary. Reduced or limited availability of coconuts. If you can't find coconuts, you can't make coconut water. A problem with their co-packers. Volatility in the price of materials used to package their products. So they're not really worrying about coconuts as much right here. They're worrying about the price of packaging. Problems with the supply chain resulting in potential cost increases and adverse impacts on our customers' ability to deliver to the products of the market. Our dependence on a distributor for retail customers is a significant portion of the sales. Remember, their distributor is Dr. Pepper Keurig, so Dr. Pepper, which is Dr. Pepper, and Keurig, which makes those little K-pods. These are all nothing really crazy there on their risk profile. It's funny. Everybody puts that there. Pandemics, epidemics, disease outbreaks such as COVID-19 may disrupt our business, including, among other things, consumption and trade patterns, which is pretty funny because they made more money during COVID, as we saw earlier. And that's why they donated money, because they made more money. Disruptions in the worldwide economy. Again, this is a lot of the stuff that they put there. And I think that is it kind of for the executive summary right there. So if you do have Robinhood, there we go, selling to shareholders, common stock offered, common stock to be outstanding. If you do have Robinhood, it's kind of interesting because you can actually purchase these at IPO price. This is something that went live on the 12th, and you can purchase at IPO price. And I went ahead and I put in for 250 shares after reading this prospectus. Now, very important, if you are buying IPO in Robinhood, it actually does use about 1.5% of your buying power, and margin is irrelevant, so it ties up a lot of cash to invest in an IPO stock, but you will get a lot of that cash back, you know, as soon as it either goes through or doesn't go through. But I am investing $6,300, which is about non-margined, a reasonable percentage of my Robinhood into a coconut water company. I know it sounds crazy, but their numbers look good. Their document looks good. Take a look at what's going on in the document below. If you do have any questions on any numbers or anything like that, feel free to comment below and I will help to the best of my ability. This is Richard with a No Pants Profits, and I thank you for watching this overview of a Vita Coco, symbol COCO, the coconut water brand. Have a great one. Bye.